History, Class 7. Hi friends, we are all here to learn about our new chapter, New Kings and Kingdoms. New Kings and New Kingdoms and the dynasties which emerged around the 7th century. The emergence of new dynasties. By the 7th century, there were some changes in the kingdom. There were big landlords or warrior chiefs in different regions of the subcontinent. Existing kings often acknowledged them as the subordinates who were known as Samantas. We now know that who were Samantas, but the question arises that what was the role of Samantas? What did they do? They were expected to bring gifts for the kings, be present at the courts, and provide them with military support whenever the ruler was weak. Samantas did not earn regular taxes. Instead, some of them received grants of land. As you can see in this map, Rashtrakutas in the Deccan were probably the subordinates of Chalukyas of Karnataka. In the mid-8th century, Dante Durga, a Rashtrakuta chief, overthrew his Chalukya ruler and performed a ritual called Hiranyagarbha with other Brahmins. Hiranyagarbha, literally meaning the golden womb, this ritual was performed with the help of Brahmins. It was thought to lead to the rebirth of the sacrificer as a Kshatriya, even if he was not one by birth. Shown here is the wall relief from Cave 15 in Ellora showing Vishnu as Narsimha, the man lion. It is a work of the Rashtrakuta period. Administration in the kingdoms. Many of these new kings adopted high-sounding titles such as Maharajati Raja, which meant Great King or Overlord of Kings, Tribhuvana Chakravartin, Lord of the Three Worlds, and so on. However, in spite of such claims, they often shared power with the Samantas as well as with associations of peasants, traders, and Brahmins. In these states, resources were obtained from producers, who were peasants, cattle keepers, and artisans who were often persuaded to surrender part of what they produced. These were claimed as rent due to a lord who asserted that he owned the land. These resources were used to finance the king's establishment as well as for the construction of temples and forts. Prashastis and land grants. Prashasti is a Sanskrit word meaning in praise of. Prashastis contain details that may not be literally true, but they tell us how rulers wanted to depict themselves as valiant, victorious warriors. For example, kings often rewarded Brahmins by grants of land. These were recorded on copper plates which were given to those who received the land. You may have noticed that each of these ruling dynasties were based in a specific region. At the same time, they tried to control other areas. One particular prized area was the city of Kannauj in the Ganga Valley. For centuries, rulers belonging to the Gurjar Pratihar, Rashtrakuta, and Pala dynasties fought for control over Kannauj. Because there were three parties in this long drawn conflict, historians often describe it as the tri-party struggle. Rulers also tried to demonstrate their power and resources by building large temples. So, when they attacked one another's kingdoms, they often chose to target temples which were extremely rich. One such ruler is Mahmud of Ghazni from Afghanistan. He raided the subcontinent 17 times from the period 1000 to 1025 with a religious motive. His targets were wealthy and rich temples, including that of Somnath, Gujarat. Much of the wealth Mahmud carried away was used to create a splendid capital city at Ghazni. Other kings who engaged in warfare included the Chahamanas, later known as the Chauhans, who ruled over the region around Delhi and Ajmer. The Chahamana ruler was Prithviraj III, also known as Prithviraj Chauhan, 1168 to 1192, who defeated an Afghan ruler named Sultan Muhammad Ghori in 1191, but lost to him in the very next year, 1192.